Hey guys, welcome to Becky's Garden Paradise. So I've been outside doing maintenance all day on my garden. I got a couple new planters and I got them planted with some, I guess some miniature pepper plants or whatever, dwarf pepper plants. Some of them are pretty and sweet plants that I started from seed myself, but I found a really cool variegated pepper plant, ornamental pepper plant. But of course, you know, even on ornamentals, the little peppers are edible. So this one is called a jigsaw pepper. So it's cool. The peppers are purple, which is my favorite color, and the leaves are variegated, so they're, you know, cream green and have some purple and white on them as well. So I got those in one of the planters, and I tilled some areas in the garden today. I'll show you how that went so that I can get the ground cover down, because I want to get okra planted this week. So I want to go ahead and get the rest of my ground cover down so that I don't have to worry about fighting weeds and going back and hoeing over stuff that's trying to come up. Go ahead and get that stuff down, get it taken care of. So now I'm sitting out here, it's Sunday evening, and I'm getting ready to pull some weeds before I water my in-ground garden. So I've already got all the containers watered, and I'm giving them a kind of like plant Gatorade. It's you know, water with, and it's rainwater from my rain barrels with a little bit of fish fertilizer in there, just a splash, just to give it a little something in between the water soluble fertilizer that I use. So take you along and show you how I weed and you know, just do regular routine maintenance on my plants. So this is the next day, Sunday, and I wanted to show you what I got growing on under here with my zucchini. So it looks like it's about 4 or 5 inches long. I'm going to give it about another day before I pick it, but I'm so excited. We have more blooms open. That's a male flower in there. There's a female flower that's closed up, so hopefully that got pollinated. More, excuse me, male blooms. I gotta get out here and do some maintenance today. I gotta do some garden cleanup. I'm gonna get some weeds pulled and prune some plants and dead stuff off of, or not so good looking leaves off of plants. This is teeny tiny, well, that's the male flower, and then in there you can see a teeny tiny female flower, hopefully got pollinated. This one has a couple baby squash on it. 2, 3 baby squash. And then over here we got 1 baby squash. Let me see if you can see it down in there. Down on the bottom, looks shriveled up, so I'm guessing that one didn't get pollinated. But there are a couple on the other side that you can see are growing. And then my tomatoes are all flowering and in need of being tied up. So I gotta get my Florida weave going on my tomatoes today. But they're looking beautiful and healthy, despite the attacks by hornworms. This one is just getting its flowers are just starting to grow on it. But this one over here is looking lovely, healthy, big, branched out. I haven't been pruning it, so I know it has some suckers on it, but I'm just gonna weave them all up. This is my sole surviving Cherokee Purple. Has buds on it. You can see, if I can show you right here, just starting to open up. But super excited about what's growing on. So I went and cut the grass that grew up on the side of the garden where I hadn't laid the ground cover yet. And I'm gonna till the rest of the areas in the garden, retill, because we tilled them on Valentine's Day. Well, Mr. B tilled them on Valentine's Day for me. And I'm gonna till them again so that I can water it in and be able to lay the ground cover down over there as a weed suppressant. And then, you know, I'll also be planting some more stuff there. So I had the tiller. We'd put it up with all those roots wound around the, I don't know what you call them, the tings on the blades on the tiller. There you go. So I've been sitting here. It's nice and warm, but it's not going to do anything but get warmer. So today the high is in the 80s, and after this, the next week is supposed to be highs in the 90s with no rain. So I'm trying to get as much done today as I can. So this is what it looks like after I tilled. I went back and forth a few times, but you can see how the ground looks. I got to come back with a rake and rake it out, and then pull up any roots and weeds and smooth it out. And I'll water the soil because it's real fluffy now before I lay down the ground cover. And I didn't get too close to the fence just because I wanted to make sure that I wasn't going to accidentally hit any of my green bean roots and mess those up, because every time I look I still see more and more mossy moss green beans. So I didn't want to mess those up. But I'm going to try to get some footage of me tilling the rest of the area. So I either got to get my tripod or my son. So I'm sitting here. I've been weeding the beginning of the first row. So I haven't even made it very far, but I already have a little container full. But I wanted to show you how it was coming along the way, what I was doing. So I weeded this whole little area. I gotta get that grass when I go to the other side. And then here's the tomatillo, volunteer tomatillo. Still blooming. And then I told you, every time I look at the green beans, I find some that I missed. And I went up and down both sides a couple times yesterday when I harvested those green beans. And there's a big fat one right there. Some more up in there that I need to get. So I'm gonna get those once I'm done out here before I go in the house. But I've been pulling off some leaves that look like they're starting to be diseased or whatever. I wanted to show you guys. When I'm weeding, I always look for any, let's see, leaves that are looking like this down here. So you see some of these are starting to get spots on them. So looks like they're getting some kind of, I don't know what that is, blight or something. But some kind of disease. I'll just go down there. When they get like that, that's no good. You don't want them. They're not helping the plant. So go through and look for any that look like that. Gonna get them out of here. There's more down there. And then I'll keep going down along the way. Gonna pull all this grass out. Any grass or weeds that are growing along the plant. Some of them have more than others. I have weeded before. It's just been a little longer in between times this past time of me weeding. So I'm gonna get the rest of this taken care of, get the rest of those yellow leaves off. And I'll show you what I end up with, what it looks like when I'm done weeding. Alright, so I finished the first row, both sides of the first row. And then I realized I was starting to run out of daylight. So the sun is on its way down. And I went through, watered everything. You could tell the difference from this first row. Looks much better than over here where I didn't get to yet. But I said, you know what? I'll get out here tomorrow and do some more. But I really need to do my Florida weave on my tomatoes, get those pruned and tied up, and then get the rest of the ground cover laid, so that area along the fence and along the brick walls where I tilled today. I didn't till super deep. I'm not a pro like Mr. B, but I tilled the best I could so that I can get that ground cover down. I'll still go around and rake and hoe up any roots and stuff before I put the ground cover down, but it's coming together. Thanks for stopping by, and I will see you again soon. Came out this morning to harvest my first zucchini, so just gonna grab it and twist. Oh, there's water dripping off the leaves. See if I twist it the other way, if it'll be easier. Try not to get on the pricklies. Yep, there we go. Twisted it counterclockwise and it came right off. Fresh zucchini. That's the side that was down. That's normal. You see, that's the blossom end. That's where the flower was. So this is going to be delicious for dinner today.